Hello, everybody. Laura from Club Soda here. It's Monday. It's a little bit of motivation. I wonder whether these are motivational. Are they? Do you find them useful? So I thought I would tell you something that I thought was quite interesting this week. I've been sorting out the lineup for the Mindful Drinking Festival. And in it, we've got a whole host of people who've written their own books, particularly books that aren't necessarily about drinking, but are self-help books in some ways. You have Shiru Azadi and The Kindness Method. She's also written My Last Diet, which is an amazing book, all about behaviour change underneath it all. And we've also got Sharath Jivan, who is somebody I know from the third sector, who's written a book about intrinsic motivation and how we use it to find our purpose and move forward. And what I realised from doing booking those people and looking for people who are outside of the drinking sphere is one thing that I did one thing I gave up before I gave up drinking was self-help books. I bought loads of them. I would go into a shop feeling miserable and unhappy and quite possibly hungover, and I'd go and buy all of these books that promised to make me perfect. In fact, I made a joke of it, that I had the whole stash of books that promised to make me perfect. And I'd buy them, and then they would sit on the shelf at home, and some were about not drinking, and lots more of them were about other things that weren't about drinking. And clearly there was a hope in me that if I could sort out these things, my diet, my work, being more organized, then somehow magically drinking wouldn't be the issue. It was like I was skirting around the real big elephant in the room and looking for other things that were a problem apart from my drinking, in the hope that those were the things that were wrong with me, not the fact that I was drinking too much. And when I look back now, it's really obvious what I was doing. I was trying to find any excuse other than the fact that I was drinking too much as being the problems in my life. And then I was buying the books in hope that they would miraculously make me perfect. But actually, I never really read them. I would look through them. I'd look through the contents. I would skim through them and go, yeah, I get that. I get all of what they're saying. That sounds like easy common sense. There seems to be no magic bullet in there. But what I didn't do was actually do any of the exercises in them. And every self-help book, right, comes with exercises. And they do that for a reason. That's because doing the work actually means that you are more likely to succeed. It's the same in doing Club Soda courses. But of course, I was always too hungover to really do the work. I was feeling too guilty and shameful and didn't actually want to do that deep probing into who I was. And I also thought I knew it all already, because all of this sounded like common sense and nobody's telling me anything I don't already know. But of course, if it was all stuff I already knew how to do, then maybe I wouldn't have been in the situation I was. So what happened probably a year before I gave up drinking was I stopped buying self-help books. I noticed in myself that I kept going in, buying books and not using them. So I stopped buying them. And now I think back, there are a number of things that I did a year before giving up drinking that helped pave the way for me being in the right mindset to finally give up drinking. So it was about recognizing that, being more organized wasn't the ultimate problem. My drinking was. And so I gave up something that was giving me false hope. And still, it was a year on, but I then was in a better frame of mind to think about what it was that I really needed to change. And drinking was what I needed to change. So I'm very much taken by that. And so if you're somebody like me who buys lots of self-help books, then maybe think about whether you're trying to find any reason other than your drinking that means that you're the way that you are. Now that I have given up drinking, self-help books are far more useful to me. Firstly, I've got time to concentrate on them. I now do the exercises because I know that the work's worth doing. And I buy them in moderation because I go for the ones that I'm most interested in, where I've heard of people talk about them and where I think the person speaks to something in me, which means I've booked some of those people that I found inspirational over the last 9 years of not drinking for the festival. Shiru Azadi is one of those. Veronica Vallally's Soberful podcast, she's another one of those. I haven't read Sober Girl Society. Usu's read Sober Girl Society, but I always feel like I'm a bit too old for Millie's Sober Girl Society, but actually there is much wisdom on those young shoulders, and Millie continues to be very supportive of Club Soda, but also share a lot of her wisdom with us. And then also, some of you may wonder why I've booked somebody called Shareth Jivan. Now, Shareth has a book out at the minute called Intrinsic, which is about motivation and how to find your inner purpose. He's got a background in the third sector like me, and his book has been really useful for me, consolidating some of what I already knew, which is by giving up drinking, I have managed to re-establish the values that are important to me and reattach myself to values that are important to me. And whenever I've delved into his book, and it's only newly out, I have realized that there's huge amounts about understanding what motivates you and understanding the life that you want to lead. That means that if you can think about that rather than what you're taking away in your drinking, you are more likely to succeed in your goals. And I'm really looking forward to doing the Q&A with him during the festival. We've got lots of other keynote speakers. You may have seen them in our programme. Do have a little look at them on joinclubsoda.com/festival. But I want you to know that we haven't just brought people from the world of changing drinking. We've brought people from a wide variety of spaces that can give you some inspiration. That means that not only can you change your drinking, but it's about building the life that you want to lead. And ultimately, that's what I've managed to achieve, with some, aspirations still to go, and what I want you to achieve too. So join us. Our festival starts on Friday. You can find everything you need at joinclubsoda.com/festival. Festival. And I hope to see all of you there and on the festival's Telegram channel. Okay, speak to you soon. Bye. I always say bye before I manage to end it.